Up the season series between the Titans and the Colts. Tennessee took the first meeting back on October the 30th, 27-10, behind 20 first half points. Mike Munchak, 7-6 in his first year as a head coach in the NFL. 14 years as the offensive line coach, 3 years as an offensive assistant, all under previous head coach Jeff Fisher. And the head coach of the Colts, Jim Caldwell. It's amazing to think just 2 years ago, at this point of the season, Caldwell and the Colts were 13-0, improved to 14-0 before losing the final 2 games of the regular season. That's when they were sitting their starters and eventually losing in the Super Bowl. The Colts 0-13. 8 straight games where the Colts have not even had a lead. Tennessee won the toss. They've deferred to the second half. Indianapolis will receive to open things up. Rob Baronis kicking off to Joe LaFedge, and he will take a knee. The Colts will have it at the 20-yard line. Indianapolis on offense. Dan Orlovsky making his 3rd straight start for Indy.
And he told us Peyton Manning has been a big help to him on the sidelines during games, discussing the plan, looking at snapshots of the defenses, encouraging. But, you know, the best advice I think he can give Orlovsky is to relate to him how he would go about attacking the Titans defense, something he has done with success many times.
Double tight end set to open up with Tammy and Eldridge. Joseph Adai in the backfield for the Colts. On the end around, Pierre Garçon. Able to get to the outside. Garçon zigzags for a good gain on first down. Give him 8. Starting offensive line, Joe Wright is back in after Mike Pollock had started the previous 2 games at left guard. Wright's in his first year out of Western Michigan. Backs and receivers, no Dallas Clark today because of the neck injury, so it is Jacob Tamme, who did have a touchdown last week in the 24-10 loss in Baltimore. And there is Peyton Manning. Still hasn't been officially cleared to practice, but there is some news regarding Manning. Give you that in a moment. Handoff to Adai, and he slices his way for 4 yards and a first down. So reports circulating that Manning did work out with wide receivers and running backs after practice this week. He did have his pads on, and our producer Bob Monsbach before the game went down onto the field and spoke with Manning, did confirm those reports. So Manning is still pushing, trying to get back before the end of the regular season. They have kept him on the active roster throughout. New set of downs for Indianapolis. Adai remains in the backfield. Orlovsky to throw. Short throw underneath the coverage to Brody Eldridge, the second-year tight end from Oklahoma. And that covers 4 yards with Ayers and McCarthy combining to bring him down. Defensively, rookies are making a huge impact for Tennessee, including Jarrell Casey out of USC. Colin McCarthy is now the everyday middle linebacker. Barrett Rood is on injured reserve. And in the secondary, Jason McCourty is back. McCourty missed last week's loss to New Orleans with a concussion. 2nd and 6 for the Colts. And Adai is brought down very quickly by McCarthy, along with Dave Ball. It's a 2-yard gain.
Talking to offensive coordinator Clyde Christensen about Adai. He says he's as healthy as he's been in quite a while. He looks quick, got a bounce in his step, and 3rd down protection is important. You see Adai in the game now on this 3rd down.
There is Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator for this Colts squad. They've been working no huddle here quickly with Tammy now set up in the slot with a 3-receiver look on 3rd and 4. Dan Orlovsky, the 7th-year QB, falls down and tries to pitch it to Adai in the process. That didn't go smoothly. No, loss of 3.
It looked like Jeff Saturday may have stepped back and stepped on his foot. And that causes him to go down right there. Saturday falls as well. Lucky that Adai hung on to this ball. This could have been a real disaster with Dave Ball right there looking to pick up that errant pitch.
Dan Orlovsky, the 3rd quarterback to start in place of Peyton Manning this season with Kerry Collins and Curtis Painter. The other 2, Orlovsky started 7 games as a member of the Detroit Lions in 2008, the only team in NFL history to go 0-16. Pat McAfee the punt. Mark Mariani, dangerous return man, moving forward, and Mariani, good catch, able to haul it in on the move. It's a 35-yard punt. Tennessee will have it at the 30-yard line when we come back. Limited action for Matt Hasselbeck last week, just 5 of 7, 44 yards, injured that left calf in the second quarter. He has not missed a start this season, and Hasselbeck has been such a big key to Tennessee's success, that veteran presence and experience that he's brought to the huddle. First down, opening series for Tennessee. It's a running play for Johnson, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Jacob Lacey leading that charge for Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Hasselbeck's going to be able to make this entire game. Watch him come out and stretch to get the ball out to Chris Johnson. And the first play, you see him limping severely on that left calf. He's got it wrapped with some elastic tape. He's got heel lifts in that shoe, but it is still a 36-year-old body working with soft tissue on that calf.
2nd and 9. Keep it on the ground for Johnson, and darts through the hole. Chris Johnson off the acceleration across the 35. Cavell Connor with a stop, 7-yard gain. A couple of injuries this year. We were in Atlanta for this one. He injured right forearm. He left the game, did not return. That's when Locker stepped in and did a nice job leading the Tennessee offense. And here's the one last week. Suffered the strained left calf after trying to knock down a tip pass.
Yeah, he thought he had torn his Achilles. Good news, the MRI showed it wasn't the Achilles. It's the tendon just above that, attaching to the calf.
3rd and 2 now. Hawkins is in as the third receiver for Tennessee. Working from the gun. Hasselbeck out of the pocket. Hasselbeck, the short throw is dropped. Chris Johnson, the intended receiver. And Indianapolis ready for him defensively.
And this is not what you want to see Hasselbeck doing, is running out of the pocket. Because of the speed of Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, their ability to chase quarterbacks down from behind, not only chase them down, but tomahawk that ball out of their grasp. Good mobility that time for Hasselbeck after having limped on the very first play of the game.
Brett Kern will punt it, averaging just under 43 yards per kick. And Pierre Garçon, in his 4th year out of Mount Union, is the return man here. Garçon moves forward. Catches cleanly at the 25. Garçon makes his move at the 30, and he is brought down just short of the 35-yard line. A 38-yard punt, 10-yard return. Peyton Manning trying to urge on the offense, and Dan Orlovsky. We'll see them when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by the all-new Volkswagen Passat, 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year.
Holiday time here in Indianapolis. No score. The Colts and the Titans early in the first quarter, 10-18 mark. Dan Orlovsky and the Colts offense. Orlovsky throwing into a crowd with Garçon in that area along with Brody Eldridge. As we check out our Fouts Focus, Tennessee's got a lot of difference makers amongst the rookies on defense.
Now, Carl Klug was an outstanding wrestler at Caledonia High School in Minnesota. He employs those same type of moves as a defensive tackle for the Titans. Heavyweight wrestler, uses strength and power and desire to bring down Drew Brees.
2nd and 10 as again Indianapolis is going no huddle here. A die in the backfield, Jerome Felton in front of him. Adai gets smacked as he crossed the 35 by Akeem Ayers, another one of those rookies. He's the rookie out of UCLA. Casey is the rookie out of USC. Carl Klug, rookie from Iowa. Colin McCarthy, rookie out of Miami. And also Chris Hawkins plays rookie out of LSU. Indianapolis, no points in the first quarter. Last 8 games.
And just 33% on the year on third downs.
They've been outscored 91-13 in first quarters this season. Only 1 touchdown this year in the first quarter. Have to go back to week 5, the Kansas City game. Play clock is down to 4. Orlovsky tries the quick hitter underneath. Donald Brown is bottled up. Tennessee read it perfectly. Brown picks up 2. Michael Griffin among those there for the Titans.
You know, at some point they're going to have to trust Orlovsky to throw the ball down the field to his wide receivers. That's a 3rd and long there, and they throw a very conservative swing pass. that gets absolutely nothing, doesn't fool Tennessee at all. You're just wasting the talents of Reggie Wayne, Austin Collie, and Pierre Garçon with that type of play call.
So it'll be McAfee once again, averaging 47 yards per punt. Always provides consistent hang time. That's a booming kick by McAfee. Mariani has some room in front of him. And Mariani weaving through just short of the 20-yard line. David Caldwell, the play on special teams, a 51-yard punt. No score here in Indy. Prior to this year, Peyton Manning had never missed a start as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. So you have to go back to December 14th, 1997 against Miami. The last time the Colts won a game without Peyton, and it's Jim Harbaugh throwing 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to tight end Ken Dilger. And the Colts a winner 41-0. Harbaugh now the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. And some good memories here in Indianapolis, though a short stay as a member of the Colts.
Came within a Hail Mary. And nobody will ever forget that here in Indianapolis, will they?
Against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1st and 10 for Tennessee. Craig Stevens, Daniel Graham, double tight end set. And Hasselbeck is forced to do it himself. He expected Johnson to be there on what turned out to be a busted play. It's a loss of 1 and a miscommunication.
I think that one's on the quarterback that time. Hasselbeck went the wrong way. Perhaps in practice didn't quite run as many plays because of that bad calf. Maybe thinking more about that calf than what he had to do to get the ball to Chris Johnson there.
Matt Hasselbeck has worn cowboy boots throughout the week just to give him a little bit of lift and elevate his calf, and he's okay with it because he fits right in Nashville.
Yes, he does.
Christmas party on Friday night, he said half the team was wearing cowboy boots, so he didn't stand out. Give is to Johnson, and he runs into a crowd. Maybe one, as Tyler Brayton was there defensively. On offense for Tennessee, Jake Scott, a part of that Indianapolis team that won the Super Bowl, then became a free agent and signed with the Titans back in 2008. Backs and receivers, Nate Washington coming off a career day in the loss to New Orleans. Washington, 6 catches, 130 yards, and a 40-yard touchdown.
And finally, we get a little crowd noise in this ball game on this 3rd and long.
Joe LaFedge is in as an extra defensive back. And a 4-receiver set here for Tennessee on 3rd and 10. Sling from Hasselbeck to Lavelle Hawkins. Good work by Hawkins after the catch to take it to the 1st down line, and they'll move the chains.
And good help out on the perimeter by tight end Jared Cook. Got a key block on that wide receiver screen to pick up the 1st down. Hasselbeck gets it out of his hand quickly. There's the block by Cook on Chris Rucker there. Well designed, well executed for the Titans.
Little change of pace here now for Tennessee as well. They'll go with Jamie Harper, the rookie out of Clemson, in the backfield. Javon Ringer, a broken hand. He's not been placed on IR yet, but it doesn't look like he'll come back. Hasselbeck, quick hitter to the outside, and Williams curls it up the sideline, just short of a 1st down. David Caldwell there in coverage. It's a 9-yard pickup. Defensively, Freeney and Mathis get so much of the attention. Fili Moala, underrated player at that defensive tackle spot for Indianapolis. Linebackers, Philip Wheeler is out, so Ernie Sims gets the start. Wheeler out with a foot injury. And in the secondary, they've been banged up there. Chris Rucker gets the start once again. He's a rookie out of Michigan State, 6th-round draft pick, good size at 6'1", 195 pounds. 2nd and 1, Johnson is back in there. They'll give it to Johnson, and trips over his own man. He was trying to get around Eugene Amano, the center, and it's a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, Antonio Johnson right here in the middle is going to cause Amano to trip. Or actually to trip Chris Johnson. Great job of pushing the center all the way back into the backfield there.
Johnson on the sideline. Dime package for Indianapolis with Kevin Thomas and Joe LaFedge. 4 receivers for Hasselbeck. 3rd and 3. The fullback Hall now sets up to the top of the screen. Movement. Indianapolis pointing.
Delay a game. Took Hall too long to get lined up correctly.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And we hear from Pete Morelli for the first time this afternoon.
This is not a very sharp start for the Tennessee Titans. You get that feeling, that old hang-around feeling. It's early in the ball game, but Indianapolis has got to be happy with the way they have controlled Chris Johnson and his Tennessee offense so far.
Mike Munchak telling us we would never underestimate a team that's in our division, no matter what their record is. They're not even looking at the 0-13. 3rd and 8. Hasselbeck throwing it against the grain, incomplete. Hall with tight coverage from the middle linebacker, Pat Angerer. And Tennessee will punt.
Hey, the amazing thing is that you see Hasselbeck running out of the pocket here, whereas he told us, he said the safest place against the Colts is in the pocket. You want to have these great defensive ends, Freeney and Mathis, running by you, not chase you down from behind. But about 3 times so far today, we've seen Hasselbeck on the move out of the pocket.
No foul, no penalty on the play because
he was out of the pocket.
He was, and the pass was at the line of scrimmage. So no pass interference call. Titans coaches were screaming for a flag. Brett Kern punting, and Garcon forced to backpedal. Fair catch, and he brings it in at the 15-yard line, a 54-yard punt. No score. Offense has been a struggle.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. And by TD Ameritrade.
No score, Indianapolis and Tennessee. Last week, the Colts had 167 yards of offense against that Baltimore D. Only 53 yards through 3 quarters. Ball at the 15-yard line. Orlovsky, play fake. Fires to Garcon. And he's going to be short of a first down. 7-yard gain. Keep your fantasy football season going with Playoff Challenge and compete against the nation for a chance to win $5,000. Sign up now at cbssports.com/challenge.
Trying to get some tempo going here for the Colts, going right to the line of scrimmage. Orlovsky will play Peyton Manning here.
Orlovsky had 353 passing yards against New England a couple of weeks ago. 2nd and 3. Donald Brown is in. So the UConn Husky connection with Orlovsky handing off to Brown. Didn't play there at the same time. Michael Griffin with the stop, and it's just short of a first down. 3rd and 1.
So the Colts will bring in DeLon Carter, the big back, 225-pound rookie out of Syracuse, to go along with Felton in the backfield. A little power here, and an extra tight end as well. Important to get this first down to get some type of momentum going for the Colts.
Carter's been a good short yardage runner, and in his first meeting against Tennessee, 9 carries, 46 yards. Carter's got the first down. DeLon Carter just short of the 35. NFL Today update. Busy day around the league. Let's check in with JB.
Hey, Ian, it is Cam and Steve.
Yeah, after a Houston fumble by Arian Foster, on top, Steve Smith, Cam Newton, consensus rookie of the year, has Carolina up 7-0.
Ian and Dan.
All right, JB and Coach Carroll will be hearing from you throughout the day, getting us caught up on what's going on around the league. Week 15. Tennessee trying to stay alive in the playoff chase. They're a game behind the Jets for that final wild card spot. Donald Brown with a 6-yard burst up the middle. Solid gainer on first down for Indianapolis.
Now Caldwell told us that it's really important to get the running game going, take pressure off Orlovsky, but also get some positive vibes happening. This is a good drive so far out to the 40.
2nd and 4 for the Colts. On the ground for Brown. And the Titans able to get over there before he gets the first down. It's a 3-yard pickup. Jason Jones got him down low. You saw Finnegan helping out in run support as well. It's 3rd and 1 for Indy.
So again, it's the same personnel coming into the game for Caldwell and the Colts. Worked the last time as Carter picked up that first down over the right side behind Deem and Linkenbach.
And that personnel, he has had to shuffle around. They have started 44 different players this season, the Indianapolis Colts.
That's not good.
3rd and 1. You like depth on your team, but that's pushing it. First down run for Carter of 4 yards. Muscular rookie. And they'll move the chains for Indianapolis.
Well, Brody Eldridge was in motion. He came across, and again, Linkenbach and Dean doing a good job on the right side against Derek Morgan of the Titans.
7th play of the drive. We are down to 1:15 to play in this first quarter. Austin Collie in as a 3rd receiver. Running play. Brown. He was slowed down as he hit that second level. But another effective run by the Colts. Brown picks up 17. Jeff Saturday with a key block.
Saturday gets a key block, but also watch the block here on the linebacker Ayers. That opens up the hole. Brown breaks a tackle, dives forward into the 40.
Working out of the gun, set up a pick play for Reggie Wayne to get him involved. And Wayne takes it just inside the 30-yard line.
And now we're getting a little variety, a little rhythm going to this offense. Good idea to go to the no huddle, go right to the line of scrimmage. You can see it prevents the Titans from substituting on defense, something they like to do along that defensive line.
Down to 20 seconds left in this opening quarter. 2nd and 3 for the Colts. Bootleg, Orlovsky. Nothing working downfield. A low throw as he tried to hit Austin Collie around his ankles. Incomplete.
Yeah, he had Collie early on the bootleg, but he saw the corner, Jason McCourty, playing zone, and he did not want to expose his receiver to a big hit on the outside. Tried to extend the play and then really had nothing and had to throw that ball at the feet of Collie.
So now a 3rd and 3 as we wind down in this first quarter. 13 first quarter points this season. That's the fewest in the NFL. 4 receiver set. 3rd and short. Orlovsky lofts one to the far side. And Garcon can't get over there. Jason Jones was coming. And Orlovsky may have hurt his hand in the process.
Yeah, it's a good pass rush by Jones. He's got 3 sacks on the year. Watch him coming right here as he gets inside of Ryan Deem, and got to check out Orlovsky's hand. That could be any type of injury when you're in that throwing motion.
47-yard attempt for the veteran Adam Vinatieri. Vinatieri gets the Colts on the board as time expires in this first quarter. Indianapolis leads for the first time in 9 games. Indianapolis, 11 plays, 56 yards. It took 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Vinatieri, the 47-yard field goal. Last 8 games, they had been outscored 64-0 in the first quarter. Well, Peyton Manning's not going to be in there today. It's Dan Orlovsky's opportunity here.
And he looks good on the sidelines, not having that right hand or right arm looked at by the trainer, so he's okay.
Pat McAfee kicking off to Mark Mariani. The deep man, McAfee booms it through the back of the end zone, and the Titans will have it at the 20-yard line. Tomorrow on CBS, Hawaii Five-0 is turning up the heat and laying down the law. Don't miss a minute. That's tomorrow, only CBS.
I could look at Hawaii Five-0 promos all day long this time of year.
That's your fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah, you can have your fantasy football. I like the Fantasy Islands. That used to be a show, didn't it?
Yeah. Ricardo Montalban, Hervé Villachez.
The plane!
You were a big Fantasy Island love boat guy, weren't you? 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Smiles, everyone. Chris Johnson. Driven down by Cavell Connor. Big hit by the linebacker.
Boy, that type of play will fire up everybody in the stands and on the field. What a hit on Chris Johnson. Cavell Connor just sent Johnson straight back as he was trying to cut into the middle.
Connor, speedy linebacker out of Clemson. He was a high school running back, and he just enjoyed that smack on Chris Johnson. A 2nd and 8 now for Tennessee. Final 3 games are against division opponents for the Titans. Home for Jacksonville, then at Houston. Johnson is stacked up. He was able to get towards the perimeter, but look, 4 defenders there, a 2-yard gain. Time for an update. NFL Today. JB and Bill Cowher back in New York.
The productive Drew Brees.
Yeah, he'd be a pretty good fantasy pick. Speaking of fantasy, how about Drew Brees and Lance Moore? 41st straight game with a touchdown pass. Only 6 behind the record of 47 held by your man Dan Johnny Unitas.
Basketball yesterday, football today, the peripatetic Iron Eagle.
Thanks, JB. Doing a little double duty this weekend. Thought Dan might stop by the basketball game at Conseco, Purdue Butler, but
Got no pass.
yeah, you didn't get the invite. Throw from Hasselbeck,
Incomplete.
and it's incomplete. Tennessee having a rough time in this first half. Nate Washington, the intended receiver. You wonder if at some point Mike Munchak is going to consider going with a healthier Jake Locker as opposed to Matt Hasselbeck. It's going to give him some time, though. Clearly, Hasselbeck has been their guy throughout the season. Brett Kern will punt it. Pierre Garçon is the deep man for Indianapolis.
One thing the Titans could use is more production from Chris Johnson. 6 carries, 11 yards.
Sailing kick, and it brings Garçon all the way back to the 20-yard line. And he got buttoned up along that sideline. Garçon didn't have any room. Tim Shaw, the play on special teams, a 56-yard punt. Indianapolis with the lead. That's something new. Matt Hasselbeck, one of 3 active quarterbacks today with Jake Locker and Rusty Smith, all available for Tennessee. Right now, the Titans trail the Colts 3-0, early stages of the second quarter. Handoff for Joseph Adai. And Adai got stamped and a flag down. 7-yard gain. Adai was able to break that initial wave. And then the second man through with a shot. Pete Morelli.
Illegal block in the back, number 87. Offense, 10-yard penalty remains. First down.
And it's coming back. Reggie Wayne called for the block in the back.
Yeah, Colts cannot afford to have that type of penalty to start off a drive. Just reinforces all the negative things that have happened to them this season. So now they end up starting back at the 11-yard line. And you got to look for Tennessee to find some spark defensively. Right now, they're just kind of look like they're going through the motions.
1st and 20 could be a defensive opportunity here for Tennessee. Titans came in with the number 22 ranking in defense, but number 6 in points allowed, just averaging 19 points allowed per game. On a dart to Tammy, and the Titans all over it. Chris Hope among those there. It's a 3-yard gain for the tight end. What's at stake here for Tennessee? They're 7-6. They're tied with Cincinnati and Oakland, 1 game behind the New York Jets. Jets take on Philadelphia later today here on CBS. Could be a challenge for the Jets, and Tennessee is looking at a game against Jacksonville and then maybe a game against Houston that could mean nothing for the Texans at the end of the season, depending upon how the seeds shake out. Orlovsky throws. Dangerous pass. Austin Collie in a matchup with the talented Alteron Werner, 2nd-year corner from UCLA, and fans wanted a penalty.
Yeah, real tight coverage this time by the Titans on the outside. Collie is upset that looked like Finnegan, or Alteron Werner there was way too soon. Looking a little bit like Finnegan with his aggressive nature, taking a risk there and getting away with an apparent pass interference.
Well, that's something Werner told us. Just watching Finnegan, the way he goes about his business, has been a nice guide for him. And he goes hard every day. Practice, walk through, it doesn't matter. Swing pass. Reggie Wayne trying to get him out in space, and Wayne is spilled out. Back to the original line of scrimmage. He picks up 8, and the Colts will punt. Finnegan in on that coverage.
Well, and that's how important that first down penalty was. It forces the Colts back to where they go ultra conservative with a couple of swing passes, one to Tammy, one to Wayne, nowhere near threatening the down markers for the first down.
Tennessee came into this game allowing opponents to convert on third down 43% of the time. That's the 5th highest percentage in the NFL. McAfee punting to Mark Mariani. Another big kick from McAfee. Mariani from the 18. Trying to circle. Breaks a tackle at the 20. Mariani swung down just short of the 40-yard line. It's a pretty good field position as Zach Dials makes the play on special teams. A 60-yard punt. 3-0 lead for Indianapolis in the second. Colts leading 3-0. Vote to send your favorite players to the 2012 Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Vote online or with your mobile device at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text Pro Bowl to MyNFL. That's 69635. Balloting closes this Monday night. Jamie Harper getting the carry. Picks up 2 yards. Ernie Sims in on that stop for Indianapolis.
Yeah, the Titans would like to see Jamie Harper develop into the type of running back Lendale White used to be when they had a great 1-2 punch with White as the Thunder and CJ as the Lightning. We'll see a little bit more of Harper today, especially teamed with Ahmad Hall.
Harper, big and strong, physical player, 5'11", 233 pounds, and a 4th-round pick from Clemson. Johnson is back out there, 2nd and 8. Johnson tried to zigzag, and they seal him in. A 4-yard gain. Sims with another stop, getting the start today at linebacker.
Well, back in game 1, Johnson had 34 yards on 14 carries. So far today, it's been the Colt team speed that's kept him inside, although he did try to cut back that time. How about the hammer shot there by Connor? Johnson did have one run in the first quarter for 7 yards, but since that, he's had just about 8 yards on 6 other carries.
He's on pace for 1,077 yards this season. That's a far cry from the 2,000 from a couple of years ago. Hasselbeck, drop ball, Damian Williams. Hasselbeck hit him in stride. Chris Rucker there defensively, and Tennessee has looked tight in this first half.
Yeah, Damian Williams, this is a drop ball. Good coverage by Rucker, but still the ball put perfectly by Hasselbeck. Would have been a first down for Tennessee. This has been a problem for Williams earlier in the year with drop passes.
3rd 3 and out for the Titans. Just 1 first down in this first half, and only 35 total yards of offense. Another punt for Brett Kern. Pierre Garçon waiting for it at the 8. No, it's LaFedge who's in there. And LaFedge bobbled it for a moment. And Joe LaFedge is thrown down just short of the 10-yard line by Chris Hawkins. A 46-yard punt. Colts are pinned deep in their own territory. They've got a 3-0 advantage on Tennessee. Second quarter action continues from Lucas Oil Stadium. Tennessee and Indianapolis, low-scoring first half so far with the Colts in front 3-0. We haven't seen any long passes. We haven't even seen intermediate passes.
Very, very conservative on both sides for different reasons.
DeLon Carter in the backfield. Carter trying to turn the corner. Can't quite get around Finnegan as Cortland Finnegan kept him in front of him and then forced him to the side. Akeem Ayers was chasing as well. 5-yard gain for Carter.
Carter gave a real good stiff arm to Akeem Ayers to get as much as he could on that play.
Well, major decisions coming up for the Indianapolis Colts at the end of this season in regards to Peyton Manning and his future. Owner Jim Irsay, the odds are they're going to have the #1 pick unless some things change here down the stretch. Play selection so far pretty balanced for Indianapolis, but on those pass plays, short tosses from Orlovsky. Trying to stretch it out for Brown, and there's not much there for him. Donald Brown hit by Malcolm Shepard. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, Orlovsky's averaging 5 yards a completion. And that won't get it done against a defense like the Titans.
Colts with one more loss and a Minnesota and St. Louis win, and they clinched the #1 overall pick in the draft. They've had the #1 pick 6 times in team history. The last time they got Peyton Manning out of Tennessee in 1998. 3rd and 6 here for Indy. Orlovsky out of the gun. Drop ball. Anthony Gonzalez, the intended receiver.
Colts have had pretty good luck with that first-round pick at quarterback, too. A guy named Burt Jones back in '73 was a great player for the Baltimore Colts. And on the outside, and again, it's another short pass, and that might be considered intermediate. It's about 8 yards. Finnegan with the coverage there.
I think for our purposes, we're going to say that was intermediate.
That could have been a bomb. What we're seeing here this first half.
Now 4th down, Pat McAfee with Mark Mariani waiting at the 35. They rush the punter. High kick, Mariani. Contact made there, and a flag comes down. Joe LaFedge getting down the field.
And LaFedge gets up and he's complaining about something I have no idea what he's complaining about. He clearly got there before the ball did.
LaFedge is clapping as if this might go his way. 51-yard punt.
He's saying he was blocked into the receiver by Tommy Campbell.
And now Pete Morelli has to sort it out. 1 penalty called on each team in this first half. And LaFedge trying to make his case. Mariani, an interested party as well.
By both teams. Illegal block in the back. Number 35, the receiving team. Interference with the opportunity to catch, fair catch. Kicking team. Penalties will offset. 4th down.
But the illegal block in the back caused the interference with the opportunity to make the fair catch. Tommy Campbell's being blocked in the back here. They're blocking in the back. He's blocking LaFedge right into Mariani. They must have said that there was enough room for LaFedge to control his body there and avoid contact, but a tough time convincing LaFedge or me about that.
Well, it's a do-over here. And LaFedge is still barking about it. And he might have a case. McAfee will do it again. Mark Mariani standing at the 35. Tennessee Titans at 7-6. The Colts are 0-13. Mariani, no one in front of him. Stutter step move into Colts territory and brought down at the 49 by Scott Luttress. Penalty marker on the play, a 52-yard punt and a 16-yard return. The flag thrown back at the Indianapolis 24.
Penalty marker down. Got another flag on the far side of the field as well, about the 32.
So another meeting.
This may be against one against each team.
There are fouls by both teams. Player out of bounds, number 36 of the kicking team. Holding, number 50 of the receiving team. Again, the penalties will offset. 4th down.
I've really got to start practicing my punting calls, because this will be 3 in a row.
Well, McAfee's getting a workout. Mariani's got to be wondering, hey, do we have another punt returner? He is a dangerous one. Took one back earlier this year for a 79-yard touchdown. He has an 87-yard punt return against Washington last year.
Ray Richleski, the special teams coach for Indianapolis. The coverage team is going to be tired here. This might be an opportunity for Mariani. They got to make sure they've got the right line of scrimmage, and they do. The 13-yard line. Initially, Indianapolis had set up well past that, and McAfee again punting out of his own end zone. Veteran special teams man Alan Lowry on the Tennessee sideline. short punt from McAfee. It does take a Indianapolis roll and then bounces out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Penalty marker at the 22.
Unbelievable. This is going to be against the Colts. They had an illegal man downfield. They were getting tired trying to get a head start on that punt by McAfee.
This is getting silly.
Eligible player downfield, number 97 of the kicking team. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
Tennessee will have the football unless they call a penalty during the timeout. Second quarter action here in Indianapolis. 3-0 Colts leading the Titans. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. We know what's at stake here for Tennessee, trying to stay in the playoff hunt. That sense of urgency, though, we haven't really felt it in this first half.
Well, offensively, they've had 4 possessions, 3 3-and-outs. Great field position to start this drive, but they're just playing so flat.
Matt Hasselbeck, the shovel, gets it to Johnson. And Johnson busting it upfield. Chris Johnson finally forced towards the sideline as he crossed the 35. Pat Angerer in on that stop for Indianapolis. And finally, a play that loosens things up for Tennessee.
And it's not the way they draw it up either. It's kind of an ad lib here by Matt Hasselbeck, as he is, after the play fake, pressured here and grabbed and just backhands the ball to Chris Johnson. This is where you want Johnson, in wide open spaces, so he can make plays just like that.
Able to turn it upfield for a 19-yard pass play and a first down for Tennessee. Johnson bounced around like a pinball and thrown backwards by Robert Mathis for no gain. NFL Today update, JB Bill Cowher in the Big Apple.
Coach, where's the Bears offense?
It counts in their defense, JB. Julius Peppers on the ground, back up, strips Tavares Jackson, recovered by Israel Donijay, and the Chicago Bears tied the score with Seattle in a must-win game, 7-7.
That counts as 7 as well. You're right, Ian and Dan.
A couple of heartbreaking losses in recent weeks for the Bears, trying to bounce back today. Harper unable to get it to the outside. Jamie Harper, known as a one-cut runner. Angerer and Lacey both there defensively.
And it's the defensive speed that hasn't changed for the Colts. You're just not going to be able to bounce the ball outside against them. They just have too much agility, too much speed here, especially for a big back like Harper. Nothing in the middle, and there's Pat Angerer with another tackle.
Tennessee, the number 19 offense in the NFL, averaging 323 yards per game, 22nd in scoring, 20.5. Flags down, play is whistled dead. He was checking down to Ahmad Hall.
False start. Number 71 offense, 5-yard penalty remains. Third down.
Michael Roos.
And that's the influence of Dwight Freeney lining up opposite of Roos. And you just know that foremost on Roos's mind is protecting his quarterback's blind side. Here's Freeney right out here, and watch the movement here by Roos.
And then that penalty just knocked them out of field goal range as well. This once promising drive is now facing a 3rd and 14 just inside the 40-yard line. Hasselbeck from the gun. Dump off. Johnson is buried at the 35-yard line. Lacey and Brayton collaborating.
Now this is well within Rob Baronis' range. In fact, in pregame warm-up, kicking in this direction, he had a couple of tries from 63 yards. One was wide but long enough. The other one hit the upright. That was also going to be good. This one's going to be from 53, so well within his range.
It would be a season long for Baronis. Career long is 60. Kern will hold it. Ken Amato is the snapper. Tennessee trying to tie it. From 53 yards away, Baronis knocks it through. We are knotted up at 3 apiece. Boy, that one would have been good from another 20 yards out. Dan Fouts knows the kicking game. He knows the target lines as well.
Really?
Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Colts and Titans are tied at 3. Super Bowl will be here as well. Matt Hasselbeck getting his team on the board. A 5-play, 18-yard drive after the short kick by McAfee. Barones knocks it through from 53 yards away. Joe LaFedge is the return man. Barones will kick it off. That'll send LaFedge to the back of the end zone, and the Colts will have it at the 20-yard line. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report, JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
Yeah, and there's pressure on Dan Orlovsky, not only to win this game today, but he's thinking about his future in this league, about the opportunity he has now. But he also recognizes that he's at a crossroad in his career, and that basically knows he probably will not be back with Indianapolis. He's auditioning, in effect, for 31 other teams.
5:32 mark of this second quarter. It is Orlovsky with a play fake and a throw over the middle. Could not hit his man. Jacob Tamme was open.
That would have been a good one to put in the audition tape. As Tamme just running down the seam in this zone. A lot of zone is being played today by the Titans. They think that their front four can get pressure on Orlovsky. Good protection that time, just a errant throw.
And that was the longest throw of the day for either team. 2nd and 10. Orlovsky is 6 of 12 for 31 yards. A dive. Nothing there. No gain. Derek Morgan there defensively for Tennessee.
And big Sean Smith getting in the middle there as well. Good tandem working up front there. But the Titans roll in a number of defensive linemen. We've seen Morgan, Sean Smith, Jarrell Casey, the rookie they feel's got the most explosiveness on that defensive line.
Tennessee has not been great, though, against the run. They've not held an opponent to under 100 yards rushing in 9 straight games. They're 20th in rushing defense this season. 3rd and 10. A dive off the short pass, and he takes it to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Conservative, to say the least, as the fans react. McCourty and Finnegan both there, along with Carl Klug.
And clearly the fans are reacting to the play selection. Again, a 3rd and long situation, and just not trusting Orlovsky to get the ball down the field to these receivers. And there's nothing wrong with Reggie Wayne and Pierre Garçon.
And the 4th 3 and out, and
well, it's a punt, Ian. There's got to be flags. There's 3 of them that have just been thrown.
Really should have known that ahead of time.
False start, illegal snap, number 48 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
And it's the snapper, Justin Snow. Three straight 3 and outs for the Indianapolis offense. Colts come in 31 in the NFL, second to last. Jacksonville dead last in the NFL in total offense. Colts are 29th in scoring, just over 14 points per game. McAfee, high kick. Mariani waiting for it. Brings it in at the 41. Flags down. And Mariani driven backwards as he hit the 45-yard line. It's a 44-yard punt. Zach Dials the tackle. And a 4-yard return for Mark Mariani.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against the Titans.
During a return, holding, number 37, receiving team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
And it's Tommy Campbell. Let's head to New York. NFL Today update. JB and Coach Cowher.
Coach, big defensive stop.
Up 6-0, looking to get 4th and inches, but they get stopped. Green Bay stops Jackie Battle right here for 4th and inches, but they're losing 6-0. And the last time they lost a game, JB, a year ago tomorrow.
Wow, right now. Ian and Dan.
Well, this is the exact opposite. The Green Bay Packers trying to remain undefeated. The Indianapolis Colts looking for their first win at 0-13 this season. And they are tied with the Tennessee Titans 3-all, 3:49 left to play in the first half. Spread formation for Tennessee. Hasselbeck out of the gun. Throws into a crowd. Almost picked off by David Caldwell. The first-year safety from William & Mary had it on his hands. Damian Williams was the target for the Titans.
That would have been Caldwell's first interception of his career. Hasselbeck throws this ball behind his receiver there, Williams. Ball wasn't in a spiral as either. The one thing I'm concerned about with Hasselbeck is that it's his left leg. So when you come and follow through, you put all your weight on that left leg. It appeared that time he didn't have a good follow through.
Give is to Johnson. Pat Angerer all over it. 2.5-yard gain for Chris Johnson. And for Tennessee's Mike Munchak, this is the wish list. That's a nice hat.
He's probably wishing he didn't have that hat on.
That's a good, but let's put that at the bottom. Write it in. Win the remaining games. Losses for the Jets in Cincinnati. A good Chris Johnson and a healthy Hasselbeck. You wonder in the second half if we might be seeing Jake Locker.
Well, Hasselbeck 4 of 9 for just 41 yards. Chris Johnson 9 carries, 18 yards.
Munchak telling us Hasselbeck has been very honest about his injuries when he hasn't felt as if he could be effective. Safety valve, Johnson drops the ball.
That's the other part of it. He's had a couple of drop balls today as well. Damian Williams dropped one that time. It looked like Chris Johnson, if he makes this catch, he may be able to make that first guy miss and get down the sideline for a first down.
It'll be the 5th punt of the afternoon for Brett Kern.
And another 3 and out for the Titans offense.
They have 2 first downs in this first half and 61 yards of offense. Indianapolis with 90 yards of offense. Pierre Garçon is now the return man. Kern angles it towards the sideline. Garçon brings it in and then upset. Chucks the ball after he faded out of bounds. And some pushing and shoving after the play, after the 45-yard punt, and the officials coming in to separate players. And a penalty marker finally comes down. It looked like cooler heads would prevail here, but now the flag thrown at the 38-yard line.
Well, it was a punt, right? So
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 37 of the receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down.
he's pointing the wrong way. It's against Tommy Campbell of the punting team, the Titans.
Correction. Kicking team, 15-yard penalty. First down.
And now Tommy Campbell has been in the middle of a few things here.
That's
penalty against LaFedge, a penalty on the next punt, and now this penalty as well as Mike Munchak calls him over. They're trying to calm down Tommy Campbell. He's a rookie out of California, PA, 7th-round draft pick, who transferred from Pitt.
So instead of being back at the 16-yard line, the Colts will get good starting field position with 2:45 to go out to the 31. All 3 timeouts. Let's just see if they let Orlovsky open up this offense a bit.
First and 10 at the 31 for Indianapolis. Orlovsky, play action, steps and fires, complete. Pierre Garçon fumbles the football, and Tennessee's got it.
Looked like it was ripped out by Akeem Ayers and recovered by Chris Hope. Great play by Ayers after the catch. Orlovsky with his best throw of the day. Garçon with the catch. After the play action, watch Orlovsky step into this throw. Now watch 56 come from the blind side, knock the ball out. Great play by Ayers.
So it's the rookie knocking it free and the veteran on the recovery with Ayers and Hope doing the work defensively. Tennessee takes over. First and 10 in Colts territory. Throw underneath the coverage and complete to Nate Washington. And a short gainer on first down, 6 yards. So Dan Orlovsky trying to find a rhythm. By far his best pass of the day. Garçon had to leave his feet, but it was on the spin downfield where Ayers was able to knock it loose and create the turnover. Indianapolis now minus 13 in turnover differential. Johnson hit hard. Helmet comes off of Chris Rucker in the process, and it's enough for a first down. 5-yard gain, and we've hit the 2-minute warning here in Indianapolis with the Titans and Colts deadlocked at 3. 2 minutes to play, second quarter here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Tied at 3, the Titans and the Colts. Tennessee with the football. Hasselbeck pumps and throws. Ahmad Hall getting involved, and Hall picks up a yard or so on the play. Pat Angerer with the stop.
Anger's got just a great quickness for a young player. Recognized that the outlet receiver was Hall and got down low against the big 240-pound fullback.
Rob Baronis getting ready for Tennessee. Kicked a 53-yard field goal in this second quarter to tie the game up. Down to 1:25 remaining. Second and long. Hasselbeck throws. Catch is made. It's the tight end, Jared Cook. And Cook is tripped up as he crossed the 30-yard line.
It looked for a moment there that Antoine Bethea had a shot at that ball. But Cook with a big body, 6'5", 250 pounds, kept his defensive back away from the ball to make the catch. Big catch for Cook.
And it's going to be short of a first down. 3rd and 1 now for Tennessee. Ahmad Hall in the backfield for the Titans. On 3rd down. Hasselbeck, touch throw, connects with Hawkins, and a first down. Perfectly thrown ball by Matt Hasselbeck, working on the rookie Chris Rucker. It's 22 yards.
Yeah, best throw of the afternoon for Matt Hasselbeck, looking left the whole way and just puts a softball out there. Really a nice job of getting off the bump by Hawkins. Ball slightly underthrown. That might have been a touchdown, thrown more down the field and more to the inside because Hawkins had about 3 yards on Rucker.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line for Tennessee. We have 40 seconds to play in this first half. Johnson, little juke move through the middle, and Johnson picks up 2.5 yards on the play. Antoine Bethea with a tackle. And a timeout taken. 33 seconds left, second quarter. Tennessee is threatening. 3-3 game in the second quarter. 33 seconds before we hit the break. And the Tennessee Titans with a 2nd and goal now inside the 5. Hasselbeck will work out of the gun. Second best red zone offense in terms of touchdowns this season behind the Jets. Hasselbeck flings it too high. Nate Washington in the area. Kevin Thomas drawing the assignment. And it's 3rd and goal for Tennessee.
The Titans had all 3 of their wide receivers lined up to the right side of the field. Washington, Williams, and Hawkins did a good job of really making a lot of congestion in the secondary by the Colts. Forced Hasselbeck to throw that ball away. Bottom of the screen, though, this is a good matchup with Cook on a linebacker. Sims.
3rd and goal for the Titans. Hasselbeck, quick hitter, looking for that matchup and could not make the connection with Cook. It's 4th down.
Well, let's see what happened here. Cook kind of just lost his balance as he was trying to get to the fade area. You got to give Sims a lot of credit. At 6 foot tall, taking on the 6'5" Cook. No contest there because Cook tripped himself.
So Rob Baronis on for a short field goal attempt of 21 yards. Trying to give Tennessee its first lead of the day. 21-yard attempt is good. Getting those points off of turnovers. The Titans now in front of the Colts, 6-3, late stages, second quarter. 6-3, Tennessee in front of Indianapolis. 21 seconds left to play in this first half, and now the Titans will kick it off after the 21-yard field goal from Baronis. Joe LaFedge is deep for Indy. Colts will have it at the 20 after the touchback, and coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB and the rest of the guys. Latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Peyton Manning, Gary Brackett, 2 big losses this season. Obviously, with Peyton hasn't played at all. Brackett lost early in the season to a shoulder injury, placed on injured reserve on September the 28th. No Dallas Clark today because of a neck injury.
And No attack here at the end of the first half by the Colts as they go into the, can you call that the victory formation when you're down 6-3 and you haven't won all year?
No, you definitely can't.
Just call that the kneel down formation.
Yeah,
Huh?
took a knee.
Get to the locker room now.
That'll do it for this first half in Indianapolis, where the Tennessee Titans, trying to stay alive in the playoff chase, have a 6-3 lead on the winless Colts. We'll come back. The Sprint Halftime Report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. Colts and Titans today in Indianapolis, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here in Indianapolis, Tennessee, with a 6-3 lead over the Colts. Let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola.
Fine pass by Hasselbeck to Lavelle Hawkins over Chris Rucker down the sidelines there. Really the only highlight in the first half offensively for either team.
Well, if you're Indianapolis at this point, you don't care. If it's an ugly win, it doesn't have to be a thing of beauty. That was an ugly first half. Indy actually looked like they had the upper hand early. Tennessee, though, able to find a little bit of a groove late in that second quarter.
Yeah, defensively, the Colts have done a good job shutting down Chris Johnson so far. But offensively, there's just been nothing.
Yeah.
Very conservative play calling. And you look at the halftime stats, you see both teams 106 yards in total yards in the first half. Probably the most telling stat there is that each team has had 4 3-and-out drives, if you want to call that a drive.
And the one turnover that did lead to 3 Tennessee points, the short field goal from Baronis. Titans had a chance to punch it in the end zone with a first and goal to go situation from the 6, but unable to get there, had to settle for 3. Tennessee won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Indianapolis will kick it off with Pat McAfee, and Mark Mariani is deep, about 5 yards deep in the end zone.
And how about the shadows here indoors? Sun shining through the west end of the stadium.
Now, this is a fantastic facility. Lucas Oil Stadium. It opened in 2008. It's got that retro look. Capacity of 63,000. It can expand up to 70,000, which it will for the Super Bowl. And a big kick by McAfee that sends Mariani to the back of the end zone, and the Titans will have it at the 20-yard line to start out this second half.
Yeah, game ball should be given to the punters today. You can see Brett Kearns has a busy day so far with 5 punts, and Baronis with a couple of field goals, so that's why they call this game football.
Is that why?
That's the only thing I can figure in a game like this. 6-3. It's not called air ball. Unless you spell it E-R-R.
I get it. That's a play on words.
Thank you.
First and 10 from the 20 for Tennessee. Matt Hasselbeck, who's playing with an injured calf, remains in there for the Titans. Deep drop off the play fake. Ahmad Hall is thrown for a loss. David Caldwell, part of that young group in the secondary, and it's a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, great job by Caldwell on this play. Here is Hall right here. He's going to slip out here, but he does not fool number 30. Nobody really goes with this fake to Johnson. And Hasselbeck really didn't even get out there to really try to sell the fake. Perhaps that leg still bothering him.
Chris Johnson, 11 carries, 26 yards. He has 2 catches for 22 yards. Working from the gun, Hasselbeck is offline. Nate Washington, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and long for Tennessee.
Hasselbeck now 9 of 18 for 75 yards. He's been off target, but he also has had a number of passes dropped this afternoon. That one by Chris Johnson on a short pass. Damian Williams over the middle. That would have been a first down. And then Johnson again as an outlet receiver. So it's been a rough day for the passing game for Matt Hasselbeck and for Dan Orlovsky.
3rd and 13 for the Titans. Quick toss. Williams banged down well short of a first down. Picks up 6. Chris Rucker with the stick.
Are both these teams using the same playbook?
Sure feels that way.
Well, and again, it's a 3rd and long, and you throw in a 2-yard pass expecting, miracle blocks and a great run to pick up the first down. I mean, are we trying to win this game or trying not to lose it? That's the question I have.
Brett Kern, his 6th punt of the day. Pierre Garçon waiting for it at the 28-yard line. Shorter kick. Garçon catches cleanly at the 36 and brought down to the 42. There is a flag on the punt.
And it involves Tommy Campbell once again. He was the gunner on the outside, who was forced out of bounds. Now, whether he didn't come back in soon enough or he was held out of bounds, that will be the call.
40-yard punt, 5-yard return. This is where most of the action has taken place for Pete Morelli and his crew on punts.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 37 of the kicking team. Player went out of bounds, did not come back in a reasonable time. 15-yard penalty to be added to the end of the kick. First down.
Tommy Campbell is mystified. I think the coaching staff is as well. Tremendous field position for Indianapolis after the penalty called against Tommy Campbell. And the Colts open up with a 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 43. Joseph Adai gets the call. Jason McCourty helping out. A gain of 1.5 yards on the play.
Let's go back to the penalty on Tommy Campbell. He's getting worked over pretty good. He goes out of bounds, and then he goes all the way behind the guys, gets some Gatorade, and then comes back out onto the field. Well, somebody's got to tell the rookie, once you get pushed out of bounds, you got to make your way back on the field immediately.
He didn't really get Gatorade, did he?
I think he spilled it on the way to the tackle.
2nd and 8 now for Indianapolis. Stop and go by Adai. 2-yard pickup. Jason Jones slammed him the other way. And it'll be 3rd down. First half possessions for the Colts.
Well, Pat McAfee came into the game with 73 punts. He now has 78 after a busy first half. And that doesn't even count all the penalties on those punt plays where he had to kick it 2 or 3 times.
Forearm injury for DeLon Carter. His return is questionable. It's been mostly Adai. Donald Brown has 5 carries, Adai with 7. And Tennessee uses a timeout at the 12-14 mark of the 3rd quarter. Titans holding on to a 6-3 lead, trying to stay alive in the postseason chase. Key 3rd down here for Indianapolis, still early in the 3rd quarter. They trail the Titans 6-3. After the timeout called by Tennessee, Orlovsky lobs it for Adai, and he has got a first down. Alteron Werner with a tackle. It's a 7-yard pickup. Adai might have been banged up on the plays, headed towards the Colts sideline.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot from Alteron Werner. Good job, Orlovsky, coming out off his primary receiver down the field, finding his outlet in Adai. And how about this effort here? Good tackle by Werner. Great effort by Adai.
New set of downs for Indianapolis to work with. Play fake. Orlovsky connects with Felton. Jerome Felton, formerly with Detroit and Carolina, signed as a fullback and getting a chance here because of injuries. A 9-yard pickup. Jordan Babineau will get credit for the stop.
And after a couple of successful plays, back-to-back passes, right to the line of scrimmage now. Up tempo for the Colts.
2nd and 1 for Indy. Orlovsky now 10 of 16, 64 yards. On a handoff, Donald Brown slipping through for a first down. Colin McCarthy there defensively for Tennessee.
That's another good effort by a Colt running back. Adai picked up the first down previously, and it looked like Brown was going to be stopped there, but he wouldn't give up. Stretched out enough to pick up the first down.
Adai just put his helmet back on. He got knocked around on that hit by Werner. Brown remains in there. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis, just shy of the 20. Give is to Brown. He accelerates across the 20-yard line. They're in the red zone with a 4-yard pickup for Brown with inside running. Dave Ball among those there. This is the deepest they've been this afternoon against this Tennessee defense.
And again, it's going to come down to trust. Do you trust Orlovsky to throw the ball to a wide receiver? Wayne has 2 catches for 15 yards. Pierre Garçon, 2 catches for 24 yards. And, of course, that fumble.
2nd and 6 for the Colts, trailing 6-3 to Tennessee. Fake the handoff. Orlovsky has time. Throws. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. Reggie Wayne. Indianapolis has a second-half lead. 18-yard strike by Orlovsky.
'72 career touchdown receptions for number 87. And this place is going crazy. Double coverage, zone defense, and a great job of shielding Michael Griffin away from the ball. Ball slightly underthrown by Orlovsky, but a great job of getting his feet down and wiping out a bunch of cameramen.
Now they're going to check to see if he got both feet in.
Who's that handsome young man there? Is that one of our guys who got knocked down?
It sure is. Jay-Z, John Zappola, tough guy.
I like his beard.
You would. And it's confirmed. It's a touchdown for Indianapolis.
Jay-Z confirmed it. He was up close and personal with that one.
Adam Vinatieri on for the extra point. Indianapolis with a 10-6 lead here in the 3rd. Reggie Wayne. Orlovsky makes the connection. He was 3 of 3 on that drive. Indy in front. 7 plays, 43 yards against this Tennessee defense. Indianapolis now in front 10-6. Orlovsky with a touchdown to Reggie Wayne, covering 18 yards. McAfee kicks it off to Mark Mariani. And no opportunity to return it. Another look. Reggie Wayne, you want to be a cameraman in the NFL like Jay-Z? Bang. But he stays on the shot. Peyton Manning and Dallas Clark applauding the effort. Colts fans, young and old, hoping for a win. Indianapolis 0-13. Tennessee with a football, handoff to Chris Johnson. Spun down, nothing there. Pat Angerer, loss of 3. And Nate Washington hobbled on the play. The leader of that wide receiving group.
And he came into the game with a bad ankle. He's been in and out of practice. It's his left ankle. Watch as he's fighting there with Lacey. Just may have turned it a little bit. That's a huge loss for the Titans if he can't continue.
Now they have very little depth there. Mark Mariani would come in as an extra receiver. Handoff to Johnson. Cavell Connor. Another loss on the play of 3 yards. Johnson cannot get to the perimeter.
It's the linebackers. Anger on the previous play, and now Cavell Connor, and we've called those 2 names a lot today. Number 53, left side of the screen, beats the block there of Jake Scott. And Chris Johnson's having a miserable afternoon. The offensive line is having a tough time controlling the linebackers of the Colts.
It's 13 carries for 20 yards for Chris Johnson. 3rd down for Tennessee, 3rd and long. Hasselbeck throwing. Washington is back on the field, and he makes the catch. Flag thrown. He's short of a first down. The flag on the near side of the 32-yard line.
This may be illegal contact against Kevin Thomas down the field. It'd be a first down for Tennessee if it is.
Illegal contact, number 21 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it is Thomas, 2nd year, 3rd round pick out of USC.
And the thing about this is on the left side of the field. Ball was thrown to the far side of the field. Here's Thomas right here. Ball's going to be thrown to the top of the screen here. Good call on Damian Williams. Illegal contact down the field.
Nate Washington back to the sideline for Tennessee. They can use Jared Cook as a receiver as well. He's a hybrid. Catch made by Chris Johnson. Tries to curl it upfield and picks up 4 in the process. Ernie Sims with the stop. Only one network launched the most new hits this season with shows like Two Broke Girls, Unforgettable, and Person of Interest. Only CBS.
And even on that little quick out pass to Chris Johnson, he just seems hesitant. Instead of just turning up the field and using that great speed of his, he's looking for too much to happen.
Hasselbeck. Hawkins took a shot and holds on to the football. Lacey and Connor with the collision on Lavelle Hawkins.
Big afternoon for Pat Anger. Came into the game with 119 tackles, and he has been adding to that total. Sideline to sideline, middle linebacker. That was a heck of an effort by Lavelle Hawkins after that big hit on that reception to stretch out and get close enough where they have to bring out the chains.
Yeah, we talked to Anger about playing middle linebackers, stepping in early in the season for Brackett. It is a first down. He said, I'm actually much more comfortable at middle linebacker than I am on the outside. And to be perfectly frank, I didn't think I was a very good outside linebacker. He's got a lot of confidence at that Mike position.
Yeah, the big thing is that he's learned from the veterans on this defense. Focus on the little things and don't give up on each other. Colts play such great team defense that defensive line allows Anger to make those tackles from sideline to sideline.
Nate Washington is back in there dealing with that ankle injury. Down to 6:40 remaining in the third. From the gun, Hasselbeck gets rid of it. Intercepted! Jacob Lacey will take it the distance. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chris Johnson, the intended receiver.
Well, this ball is well thrown by Matt Hasselbeck to Johnson out here, but watch Lacey come right in and steal it from Johnson. Johnson did not go for this ball with any intensity. Lacey did, and Lacey scores with it. Ball was right on target, and Lacey just stepped right in and said, that's my ball.
That is the first interception of the season by an Indianapolis cornerback.
They only had 6 coming into today's game.
Extra point is good. The Colts have built a 17-6 lead. Trying to get their first win of the season. They're doing it in all phases. Jacob Lacey's second career interception return for a touchdown. This one gives Indianapolis a 17-6 lead with 6:31 to play in the third quarter. Pat McAfee kicking off to Mariani. And Mariani, it bounced off his leg out of bounds. What else can go wrong for Tennessee?
At the -6-inch line. Wow. Right off his toe, and that ball just barely misses the pylon. If it hits the pylon, it's out to the 20, but it does not, and they're going to place this as close to the goal line as it could possibly be.
The Tennessee Titans in a 17-6 hole.
And the Titans have got to be concerned with getting the ball all the way out of the end zone. Has to cross the entire goal line or it will be a safety.
Handoff to Johnson, leaning forward. Did he get enough to get out of there?
Now the officials are coming in saying he did.
No gain on the play. It remains exactly where it was.
Yeah, he barely got out. Barely got out. This is right where the Colts want the Titans to be. Watch this effort here. Johnson bounces to the outside. You can see the ball is clearly all the way out, but not by much. He might have lost a half an inch on this play. Again, it's Cavell Connor with a big hit.
Play clock winding down. Out of the gun. Hasselbeck throws. Johnson dances out across the 5-yard line for a 5-yard pickup. Lacey and Sims combined to bring him down. NFL Today update. JB and Coach Coward.
A big boo-boo, Coach.
Yeah, say it isn't so, Caleb Payne. A little play action. Go back, throws it to Red Bryant. He rumbles and bumbles it in, and right now, Seattle's up 21-14.
Ian and Dan.
Hasselbeck throws. Complete. Jared Cook, and they've got breathing room and a first down for Tennessee. That's a 10-yard hookup. And here is the veteran presence of Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth, Ian. Cool in the pocket on those last 2 plays, throwing from his end zone or close to it.
They're working no huddle right now. Hasselbeck. Too high for Damian Williams. Incomplete. The equation is pretty obvious for Chris Palmer and the rest of the Tennessee Titans. You have to win your last 3 games. That part is a must considering how crowded the AFC wildcard race is. Even winning those 3 games does not ensure you a playoff spot because the Jets still have the 1-game lead. They've got a tough matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles later today.
Look out for this pass rush now. This is how the Colts are built defensively to play with the lead.
On second down, Hasselbeck able to hit Johnson. And a 3-yard pickup through the air. Pat Angerer again making another stop with some help from Bethea. Wild card standings, Pittsburgh at 10-3. They're in the postseason with the Jets 2 games behind the Steelers. And there's Tennessee, Cincinnati, Oakland, and San Diego at 6-7.
Cincinnati having a tough time with St. Louis this afternoon. 6-6 in the third.
3rd and 7. Hasselbeck. Lunging is Nate Washington, and he is injured. Chris Rucker brought him down. It's enough for a first down. 8-yard gain, and Washington is limping off.
Yeah, really a great effort by Washington. Coming in with a bad ankle. He's played with it the last couple of weeks. But Hasselbeck getting good time to throw here, just in time out to Washington.
The wide receivers call him old man, and he's 28 years old, but he's the oldest guy in that meeting room. Johnson is stacked up. That's not working. Trying to get him out to the perimeter. Flagged out.
Jared Cook. It happens so often when a running back bounces something to the outside that's supposed to be run to the inside. Johnson coming over, getting his jersey attended to, and maybe his helmet as well. It's been a frustrating afternoon for Chris Johnson. There's the hold right here by Jared Cook.
Johnson, 14 carries, 20 yards, 5 catches for 34 yards.
Really can't blame Cook on that because he was blocking his man thinking Johnson was going to run up inside.
6 penalties against Tennessee, costing the Titans 60 yards. Hasselbeck, shotgun, the throw. Good hands there by Cook to haul it in.
Does it seem like Pat Angerer is everywhere this afternoon?
It does.
He had coverage on Cook that time. I know Chris Johnson's going to see him in his nightmares tonight.
6-yard gain through the air. And now 2nd and 14 for Tennessee. We'll hit the 3-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Floats it to the outside, and Jamie Harper. Good pursuit there. Tried to stiff arm Jacob Lacey. 2-yard gain, and it's 3rd and long for the Titans.
You can just see the renewed bounce in their step of this defense for the Colts, and the fans getting into it, knowing that this is a 3rd and long situation. They're waiting to see if Freeney and Mathis can get to the less than 100% Hasselbeck.
We have not seen a sack on either side here this afternoon. Indianapolis with a 17-6 lead over Tennessee. Colts are 0-13 on the season. Hasselbeck pump and throw. underneath to Nate Washington, and he's twirled down at the 31-yard line by Lacey.
Boy, and that had to feel good on a bad ankle, being twisted to the ground by Lacey. But it's a zone coverage, and the Colts will give up the short pass all day long.
Hasselbeck is now 19 of 30, 131 yards. The pick, which I think we both believe was not really his fault, as Johnson didn't go with the full effort to bring the ball in, and it was taken away by Lacey for a touchdown. Pierre Garçon is deep. Busy day for Brett Kern. It sends Garçon back to the 22. Circles. And that allowed enough time for Tennessee to get down the field on special teams. Tim Shaw among those down there. A 46-yard punt. Garçon lost 3 yards on the return. Tonight on Survivor, it's down to 3 tribal councils and 2 suspense-filled hours. Don't miss the season finale and live reunion show tonight, only CBS. Tennessee has 153 yards of offense. Indianapolis has 149. So these are not going to be eye-popping numbers by any stretch.
No, these are eye-wincing. Can you wince your eye?
I think I just did. My left one.
Gotcha.
On first down from the 20-yard line, Orlovsky on a give to Donald Brown. Brown breaking through. Donald Brown busting it to the sideline and forced out of bounds. 40 yards on the run, his longest of the season.
And it's just a simple blast play right up the middle here. Watch the block here in front by Felton. So he comes and cuts off the backside, and that's just what he needed as James Jones goes flying, and so does Brown all the way down again into Tennessee territory at the 41.
They'll officially give him 39 yards on the carry.
And they're starting to believe, aren't they?
They are, these fans and probably the team as well, with just over a minute to go in the third. It's Brown again. Falls forward for 2. Derek Marks among those there defensively for Tennessee.
This organization has won so many games because of that man there, but the players on the field right now, if they can hang on and win this ball game, they're going to feel like they just won a playoff game.
They made the playoffs for 9 straight years. They won the most games in the NFL from 2000 to 2009, the most in the decade. And now they just want to win 1. Brown, nice cut by Brown. He's got a first down at the 30-yard line, and Colin McCarthy is down on the play. McCarthy's been such a standout, the 4th-round pick out of Miami. And that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Indianapolis heads to the 4th with a lead, 17-6 over Tennessee. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter here in Indianapolis. The Colts 17, the Titans 6. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our crew, producer Bob Monsbach, director Suzanne Smith, everybody here at CBS. Indianapolis 15 minutes away from its first win of the season here in week 15. Their last lead in the fourth quarter, week 5 against Kansas City. On first down, Donald Brown gets buried. Jason Jones, hard charging defensive end. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, Jason Jones, remembering back to that 39-yard run moments ago by Brown. He fights off 2 blockers to get in the backfield and take Brown down.
Important area here for field goal position as well for Adam Vinatieri. Currently an 11-point lead, can build it to 14 with a made field goal. Obviously they're thinking about something more than that if they can keep this drive going on a 2nd and 13. Orlovsky, handoff to Brown. Sticks the helmet down. Brown brought down just short of the 25. 6-yard gain. JB and Coach Cowher standing by in New York.
Cincy on top.
Yeah, because of a 56-yard Brandon Tate punt return, finished off by Bernard Scott, 1-yard run. They take the lead and keep their playoff hopes alive, leading 13-6.
Let's take it back to Ian and Dan.
And Cincinnati in the same position, guys, as the Tennessee Titans. Bengals have dropped 4 of their last 5 games. Remember, they were in a dogfight with Baltimore and Pittsburgh at the top of the division. 3rd and 7. Joseph Adai is short of a first down. Had to get to the 20-yard line, and he picks up 5. Dave Ball got him around the ankles. And now Adam Vinatieri will come on to try to make this a 14-point lead for Indy.
Yeah, that's the right call for Jim Caldwell. Get those points. Don't risk a 4th down and not coming away with any points.
40-yard field goal attempt for Vinatieri, the 4-time Super Bowl champion, who has been Mr. Clutch throughout his career. From 40 yards away, Vinatieri splits the uprights. Colts in front, 20-6 in the 4th. And speaking with Mike Munchak yesterday, we asked him about being a first-year head coach. He said, I've enjoyed it. I've really grown to like and get comfortable with the idea of having to make all these decisions over the course of the game. When he was the offensive line coach, certainly he was just responsible for his guys. Now he's responsible for the entire team. Well, they've got some decisions to make here in the 4th quarter as Mariani is going to take a knee. And Tennessee will have it at the 20-yard line. Reggie Wayne with a touchdown. Then Lacey, the interception return for the touchdown. Colts are feeling pumped up right about now. Indianapolis Colts with a 20-6 lead. This is not their largest lead of the season. They were up 17-0 on Kansas City back in week 5. Titans trying to battle back with Hasselbeck. Slings for Nate Washington. First down. Takes it to the 35-yard line. That's a 15-yard hookup.
And Hasselbeck will get the team right through the line of scrimmage. No time to waste, being down by 14.
Matt Hasselbeck in his 13th year in the NFL. Hooks up with Cook. Loses the football. And the Colts have it. Jared Cook. Joe LaFedge over there, and he's going to get credit for it. It's been that kind of day for the Tennessee Titans.
And it's been an outstanding day for Pat Anger. Cook has got the ball down the seam here, top of the screen. Watch Anger come in and strip this ball out. Fantastic play. They're going to have to tell Chris Rucker to just drop on that ball. How about Anger? 9 tackles on the afternoon, 1 pass defense, and a forced fumble there.
So Chris Rucker, credit with the fumble recovery for Indianapolis, and the Colts take over with a 14-point lead. Adai trying to sidestep, and no gain on the play. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Verizon. Join JB and company for the latest NFL scores and highlights. Then it's game 2 of our doubleheader. The Patriots meet the Broncos, the Eagles home for the Jets, or the Browns taking on the Cardinals. That's coming up right here on CBS. 2nd and 10 for Indianapolis. Here's a die, tripped up, and the ball's loose. But it bounced right to Jeff Saturday, and he was ruled down on the play either way.
Yeah, but Saturday, he's getting a hand from the crowd, a little smile on his face. He got about 3 yards after the recovery. The ball was whistled down, though, before it came out. The die hitting over the right side. Yeah, he's down, and the ball comes out. Heads up by Jeff Saturday.
126 yards on the ground for the Indianapolis Colts. Adai getting to the outside and lowering the shoulder into Jason McCourty. 6-yard gain for Joseph Adai. Colts will punt.
And you talked about the difficulties the Titans have had all year stopping the run, giving up 121 yards per game on the ground. And right now they've given up 131 yards. We still have 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Trying to end the losing streak here today at 0-13 on the season. Longest losing streak in franchise history is 14 in a row. Major hang time. Mariani drilled to the 25-yard line. 42-yard punt. 20-6 Indianapolis. AFC wildcard standings, the New York Jets at 8-5, holding down the second wildcard spot. Tennessee, Cincinnati, Oakland, all one game behind, with the Jets taking on the Eagles later today here on CBS. Shotgun formation, Hasselbeck throws on first down, and it's on time to Lavelle Hawkins for a modest gain. Still plenty of time for Tennessee here. They're down 14, 9:51 to play. Obviously the fumble by Cook was damaging, but it only cost them about 2.5 minutes of game action. What it cost them was yardage in the area of 45 yards from where he fumbled it to where they got the football back after the punt.
Yeah, 2 straight pass completions, and it looked like the Titans were going to move right down the field.
2nd and 6. Hasselbeck, same area, same play. Hawkins out along the perimeter, and he ducks out of bounds for a first down, 7 yards.
This is where you do like the veteran leadership and experience of your quarterback, Matt Hasselbeck. Very calmly again. And how about the offensive line? Not giving up any sacks today. Colts had 21 on the season. They still got Freeney and Mathis to get after the quarterback.
Tennessee has only allowed 19 sacks this season, second fewest in the league. Hasselbeck limited mobility because of the calf, and it's offline looking for Cook with Pat Angerer there defensively. JB, Coach Cower. We go to New York right now. NFL Today update.
Coach, could it be?
Yeah, Kansas City moving the ball. Leonard Pope, 33 yards of this play action, sets up another field goal. The first time in this streak that they have been at 19 games that they've been behind the fourth quarter. 12-7 Kansas City.
10:41 left in regulation. The bird and the beard.
All right, JB and the coach, 2nd and 10 here. Dump off for Johnson, and had a little bit of room in front of him, so Johnson able to accelerate to the 45 for a 9-yard pickup.
Johnson now has 6 catches for 43 yards, and every time he gets the ball in a space just like that, you feel that, hey, he can make a difference. He can get all the way to the end zone. His longest pass reception, though, this year is only 34 yards.
It's 3rd and 1 here for Tennessee. From the gun, Hasselbeck, first down to Jared Cook. And they'll move the chains again. That time Cook making sure he secured the football with 2 hands and holding on for dear life into Indianapolis territory down to the 49.
Now this offensive line is giving Matt a lot of time to throw, and he's rewarding them with a hot hand. He hasn't missed anything lately.
Once again working out of the gun, Hasselbeck to Chris Johnson, who keeps on going. Johnson, no whistle was blown, and Johnson takes it all the way. Touchdown, Tennessee. 49 yards for Johnson.
And because it's a scoring play, they can review this. But I didn't hear a whistle. I didn't see any official come in.
Watch this little juke on Buffet. Is that considered enough contact to be a tackle?
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Well, they're going to have to review this, obviously. No challenge needed because it was a scoring play. Watch Buffet's helmet here. Does he make contact with his foot? Yes, he does. So this one's coming back.
You know what the irony is, Dan? If he goes down at the 1, they can't look at it, or they would have to challenge then. It would have to be a coach's challenge, but that's a different story.
You're just too smart for this game, my friend. That's thinking way outside the box, but this is clearly a tackle.
We'll review the previous play.
Yeah, this will be a tackle. Elbows down, scoring play, so it's automatically looked at. And I think we both believe that this one is going to be coming back. Clear contact from Bethea.
Yep.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores. And by Subway Restaurants. Give a $25 Subway card today.
Well, here's the contact right there. The helmet to the right foot of Chris Johnson. And Pete Morelli will tell us what he saw. Heads up by Johnson to get up off the ground and go to the end zone as if he were not touched. But now Morelli goes back, and they're just probably trying to figure out exactly not only where he went down, but at what time on the clock was he tackled.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be spotted down at the 43 and a 2nd and 4 for Tennessee.
And they will wind the clock because he was inbounds on the tackle.
Reviewing the play, the runner was down by contact at the 44. It'll be 2nd down.
So for a moment there, it looked like Chris Johnson had pulled the rabbit out of the hat.
Another Music City miracle, maybe.
Not quite.
Maybe. No, not quite.
Official reviews this season. 50 have been reversed. So now 7:53 remaining and Tennessee down by 14. That clock is going to be a critical part of this equation for the Titans. Not only do they need points, they need to do it quickly. Shotgun, Hasselbeck throws a dart to Hawkins. And extra yards after the catch from Lavelle Hawkins as he scampers out of bounds. It's a 19-yard gain.
Hasselbeck now has hit 13 of his last 14 passes. And again, you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line of Bruce Harris, Amano, Scott, and Stewart. Played together for a long time, and it's showing the way they're protecting their quarterback.
New set of downs for the Titans. Hasselbeck lets it fly. Intercepted. Pat Angerer has been everywhere for Indianapolis.
That's his first career interception, too. And it was caused by the pressure of Antonio Johnson looping around and getting into the face of Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck couldn't get anything on this throw. Watch the hit here. All arm. There's Anger way down the middle of the field in that Tampa 2 defense. And the Colts are looking like winners.
They're 7-19 away from claiming their first win.
Well, this is the eyes of middle linebacker Pat Anger, checking out Hasselbeck the whole way, knowing that seam route is going to go to Nate Washington. The pressure by Antonio Johnson, the underthrown ball, and Anger picks up his first career interception. And he could not have a bigger one to help snap potentially this horrible losing streak.
Angerer telling us on Friday the one thing he's learned now in his 2 years in the NFL, the gap between winning and losing in this league is so slim. One play here, one play there. Well, he just made one play, but he's made a bunch of them here today for Indianapolis to try to ensure victory.
Well, and if you saw where he was lined up, that's the classic cover 2 defense. 2 deep safeties, but in effect, the middle linebacker becomes the third safety because he has to run all the way down the middle of the field. He lined up about 10 yards deep from the back off the line of scrimmage. Did his homework, his preparation, knew that slant, that deep seam route to Washington was coming. And because Hasselbeck couldn't get anything on the throw, it was an easy pick.
Jim Caldwell has been stoic on that Indianapolis sideline. His team leads it 20-6, and they have the football with just over 7 minutes to play. Gave us to Donald Brown, tried to wheel to the outside. He got undercut. No gain on the play. Let's head to New York right now and check in with JB.
All right, up next, many of you will see the Patriots at the Broncos.
Talk about contrast of style. Tom Brady's going to try to make this a fast-paced, no-huddle type of game and win it early. And then the Tim Tebow, it's make it ugly, get it to Tebow time, and find a way to win.
Brady, Tebow, coming up next here on CBS. Back to Ian and Dan.
Should they call that game the Beauty and the Beast?
What? Which is which?
Brady wants to win pretty, and of course Tebow wants to be ugly.
Well, it's working right now. It's been effective for Tebow. Highly anticipated matchup coming up here on CBS as Brown gets buried by Jarrell Casey. The last time the Colts won a game, 20-6, timeout taken by Tennessee. Let's bring it back. Week 17. Is that a sight for Colts fans? Peyton Manning, the touchdown to Pierre Garçon. Chris Johnson, 15-yard touchdown reception, tied the game, but Adam Vinatieri gives Indianapolis the victory with a 43-yard field goal. Peyton Manning out along the Indianapolis sideline. This was after Angerer came off the field following the pick. Manning there to greet him. Gary Brackett, the man that Angerer replaced, in the middle, also there. And the report earlier that Peyton Manning was working with his wide receivers and running backs after practice, not officially a part of practice, hasn't been cleared to practice, but we've been told he did have his pads on. We were told by Peyton Manning himself. Brown for no gain, and Indianapolis just content to punt it away and not take any chances in their own territory. Tennessee uses its final timeout.
And we may see that young man come into the lineup, buttoning the chin strap, putting the ball cap on for the other guy.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, the new threat from the Great Recession, plus Meryl Streep on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. Did Mike Munchak stick with Matt Hasselbeck too long, or did Hasselbeck earn the right to be in there in the fourth quarter?
Well, before the interception, he had completed 13 of 14, so he had moved the team down the field. If you don't get the fumble by Jared Cook, who knows where this ball game is? And then the pressure just got too much right in his face. He could not get away from Antonio Johnson, and the pass comes up short right to Anger.
McAfee, he tried to block it. McAfee gets rid of it. Mariani, flag is thrown. And Mark Mariani is forced out of bounds right around midfield, but there was a block just to the right of Mariani by Alteron Werner.
I think we're setting an NFL record for penalties on punts today.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, number 20. The receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
I'll get back to you on that.
You're going to have your people check on that?
I don't have people, but I'll have your people check on it.
Thanks. Jake Locker is in. The rookie out of Washington who has looked impressive when he has been forced into relief for Matt Hasselbeck. We saw him in person in Atlanta, and Locker came back and gave the offense a clear jolt. And then last week against New Orleans, extended action for Locker because of the calf injury to Hasselbeck. Locker's not 100% either. He took a shot to the ribs last week. Locker out of the gun. He's got a live arm. Off the hands of Washington, almost intercepted as Ernie Sims was over there defensively.
He did take quite a shot last week on a safety blitz. Locker never saw number 22 coming at him. That's Porter. Boy, he hit him right under the arm there. Practice most of the time later in the week, but not early.
He did leave the game for one play. Hasselbeck, who was injured earlier, came in for the one play. And then Locker came back. Off the catch by Nate Washington. That covers 9 yards, and we are under 6 minutes to play. Indianapolis with a 14-point lead on Tennessee.
And Tennessee, no timeouts. This is really going to test the rookie Locker.
From the gun on 3rd down, connects with Jared Cook for a first down. But he stays in bounds. It's just short of midfield, and the clock continues to roll. 5.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. A loss would bring Tennessee to 7-7 on the season. Locker out of the pocket. He's got running ability, and look at him turn the corner. Jake Locker, the number 8 pick overall out of Washington. Terrific athlete, getting out of the pocket and making things happen for an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, he runs about a 4.5 40, and he got around Tyler Brayton with ease. Brayton looked like he had the angle on him, but Locker turned on the jets.
2nd and 2. We approach 5 minutes to play. Locker short drop, and the quick throw to Craig Stevens. Stevens has a first down. Out across the 35-yard line, another 9-yard pass from Locker. Clock is down to 4:47 and counting left in the 4th.
Nate Washington on the sideline with that bad ankle.
Locker in some trouble. Locker is tripped up from behind. Finally, Indianapolis gets the sack. Robert Mathis.
80.5 now sacks in his career for number 98. He went right around David Stewart. Locker looking for an escape route, couldn't find one.
The bookends, Mathis and Freeney. Freeney went over 100 career sacks last week in the loss to Baltimore. On the give for Johnson, weaving his way through traffic. Chris Johnson caught from behind. Chris Rucker got him, but then grabs his leg on the play. It's a 35-yard burst for Johnson, who comes up limping himself.
It looks like Rucker has got cramp problems. His buddy Kevin Thomas takes care of him. What a great effort here on the draw by Johnson. Cutting all the way across the grain right there. And then this burst and a flat-out dive by Rucker keeps him out of the end zone.
Johnson grabbing at that right ankle, maybe just the foot in general. And they're still working on Chris Rucker, trying to stretch out that right leg.
Well, Johnson's, his right ankle did get pinned underneath Rucker there. Right about there, you can see it's kind of sideways, and it's not supposed to be sideways. Watch his right ankle right there. Well, they could sure use him in the lineup, though, to get in the end zone in a hurry.
Well, it's not only just getting in the end zone. They got to do it quickly now. You look at the clock at 3:54, no timeouts remaining. And Rucker is okay. Kevin Thomas will come in. If you score right here, they wouldn't be forced to onside kick. They can trust their defense to make one last stop.
There's a good matchup at the top of the screen here. Kevin Thomas, new corner, and Damian Williams.
Locker from the gun. Looks, throws for the touchdown. Nate Washington hauls it in. And Tennessee within striking distance with 3:43 to play.
Now 6th touchdown catch of the year for Washington. Coming from the right side of the screen, right underneath the void left by Jared Cook going to the corner. Washington playing tough. That's a good drive by Locker. 69 yards in 8 plays and just 2:30 off the clock.
And again, was that the lift that he brought to the offense, or was it the style of defense Indianapolis was playing? It's irrelevant because it's a 7-point game right now, and Tennessee obviously is going to have to make a stop here with 3:43 left.
Well, the key play, obviously, the run by Johnson on the draw play. But you got to give Locker some credit. He ran that hurry-up offense very well, and he gets the appreciation of his mentor, Matt Hasselbeck.
That's been a good relationship from the start. They share the same agent, and Hasselbeck knew what he was signing on for when he took the free agent contract from Tennessee. This was not a long-term deal. This was, hey, we need you to run the show for this year. And Jake Locker is the future of the team, and Locker has been impressive and has shown glimpses of what he's capable of.
He is going to be an outstanding player. You can see the type of speed he has when he runs, but his arm is so lively. He's able to fit some balls into spaces that a lot of quarterbacks can't, as he did last week against New Orleans. But Hasselbeck, he doesn't want to be Wally Pipp just quite yet.
Dan, here's the situation with 3:43 to go. You don't have to onside kick. What you have to do is get a 3-and-out on defense. Now, you might make the decision to onside kick, but just timing-wise, they have no timeouts left. They would have to stop them 3-and-out to have any chance.
As they just did the last time the Colts had the ball. And you know the Colts are going to be conservative. They're probably not going to put the ball in the air. They didn't the last time they had the ball. They just tried to take time off the clock. So I think you're right, Ian. If I'm the Titans, I trust my defense here. I kick the ball deep, maybe put it out of the back of the end zone so no time comes off the clock at all.
If they came up with a 3-and-out, they would get the ball back with 2 minutes to play.
But will they have Chris Johnson to play with?
Rob Baronis will kick it off to LaFedge, and this one will be right through the back of the end zone. Indianapolis will have it at the 20-yard line. We saw the Colts go ultra-conservative on the last possession. And let's see how Clyde Christensen and the Colts handle this with 3:43 to play. Don't forget, second half of the doubleheader is coming up. New England at Denver. The Jets taking on Philadelphia. Cleveland visiting Arizona. Check your local listings. The NFL on CBS. 7-point lead for the Colts. 3:43 left on the clock. Dan Orlovsky looking for his first win as a starting quarterback. Take it one step further. As a quarterback in the NFL where he's actually played in the game and thrown a pass. Donald Brown breaking free initially. And Brown off to the races. Donald Brown down the sideline. He's gone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
No flags. Put it on the board.
80 yards. The Colts so close to ending the drought.
And I think Orlovsky heard you, Ian, because he laid the key block as Brown reversed his field.
The defense needed to make a stop. They needed a 3-and-out to give the offense a chance. It looked like they had the play all lined up perfectly with Donald Brown caught in the backfield for a loss, and he turns it into an 80-yard touchdown. 161 yards on the ground for Donald Brown.
Well, let's check this one out. He starts over here and then gets back in the backfield, and it comes all the way around the outside. The Titans, great penetration there. You see Derek Morgan get in the backfield. Jason Jones. How about the block on the outside by Reggie Wayne on Cortland Finnegan? And then it looked like here Babineau had the angle, but the great stiff arm right there at the 15-yard line by Brown gets him into the end zone. How about Orlovsky here? Right side of the screen with a block there on Michael Griffin. And Brown's looking down the field, picks up the block from Wayne. Tammy trying to get out in front. What an effort by the entire offensive team, and a career-long run for Donald Brown.
And it ties the longest run in franchise history. Tom Matte.
That's saying something.
80 yards for Donald Brown.
I was getting a kick out of watching a guy's eyes as he's running down the sidelines. Manning looking at the big board. He knows he's gone.
Colts will kick it off, now leading 27-13.
Yeah, the good decision by Jim Caldwell to kick that ball off, not go for the onside kick. Or rather by Munchak, it's kind of backfired as Brown goes the distance.
Christmas Day, 3 Eastern, the NFL Holiday Spectacular, and the magic of NFL films puts you in the spirit with the all-time most memorable holiday moments. Then at 4, experience the historical journey of African Americans in pro football on 3rd and Long. That is a terrific presentation. You won't want to miss it. NFL Holiday Spectacular and 3rd and Long, Christmas Day here on CBS. Locker throws on 1st down. Nate Washington leaning forward. And a new set of downs for Tennessee after the 11-yard pickup, but it's a 14-point differential.
And no Chris Johnson in the backfield for Jake Locker.
We saw Johnson on that long run. That ankle went in a direction that it's not supposed to go in, as he was caught from behind by Chris Rucker. Pass was offline, looking for Nate Washington. Incomplete, 3:01 to play in the 4th, and here comes Johnson for Tennessee.
Now they shouldn't waste him. They should use him.
Titans knew exactly what was in front of them. Probably needed to go 3-0 the rest of the way to even have a shot at a playoff spot. On 2nd down, Locker handled there by Cook and bangs his way for a 1st down across the 45. 15 yards on the pass and catch.
And 4 fresh defensive linemen come into the game for the Colts.
(27-13) Indianapolis. We're down to 2:34 remaining. Locker over the middle to Cook. And they'll move the chains once again into Indy territory. Brought down to the 42.
And just look how deep the linebackers are playing here. This is Anger right in the middle of the field. Middle linebacker.
Hawkins bouncing off a tackler and staying on his feet for a little extra yardage. Injured player is Jacob Lacey. He is grabbing the right lower leg. Lacey had that key interception return for a touchdown that really gave the Colts the confidence. As we stand right now, Tennessee at 7-6 with Cincinnati and Oakland. The Jets at 8-5. The margin of error was very slim for this Tennessee squad. All divisional games left, with this game home for Jacksonville next week, and then wrapping up the season at Houston.
And you talk about divisional games. Mike Munchak saying he would never take a divisional opponent lightly. I don't know if they took them lightly, but they did not come out ready to play in this one from the very start. 6-3 at halftime, thanks to a late turnover by the Colts.
2nd and 1. Locker over the middle for Cook again. And Cook picks up the 1st down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Tennessee on the move, but they trail by 14. 0-13 teams or worse to win a game. The Miami Dolphins, you remember, defeated Baltimore back in 2007. Cleo Lemon leading the way for Miami. Indianapolis, 1986, they were 0-13. They beat Atlanta. The Saints in 1980 defeated the Jets, and the Oakland Raiders knocked off the Patriots going back to 1962. Under 2 minutes to play now. Locker hooks up with Lavelle Hawkins. Good play by Hawkins to get to the outside and duck out of bounds.
You got a little bit of help out on the outside, the perimeter. Mark Mariani blocking, and heads up by Hawkins to get out of bounds. They've got to put it in the end zone right now, though.
Yeah, this game isn't over. You get a touchdown here, you get an onside kick, and things can change in a hurry.
Now remember that route they ran the last time they had this formation was a slant here, and to the corner went Cook.
Locker underneath to Johnson. Accelerates. He is short of the 5-yard line. And the clock is rolling. 1:45 and counting.
Yeah,
6-yard pickup.
You can't afford to throw that ball. You got to throw the ball from this part of the field into the end zone. It's either caught for a touchdown or incomplete, and the clock will stop.
Locker trying to get everybody on the same page on 2nd down. Locker looks, throws, back of the end zone. Hauled in by Williams, but he was out of bounds.
Not quite tall enough to keep his feet in the field of play here. That ball, a fastball thrown high, kind of carried Williams out of the back of the end zone. 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Third down for Tennessee. 1:27 left. Locker. Broken up. Jacob Lacey there. Hawkins, the intended target in the end zone, and it's 4th down.
But that quick type of pass there saves time if it's not complete. If it's complete, it's a touchdown.
And here's their last gasp of air. They can still get a first down. It's 4th and 4. Fans on their feet. From the gun. Locker in trouble. Flings it up in the air. Incomplete. Game over. The Colts defense secures the win.
Yeah, Antonio Johnson with the pressure here. Watch him work. Working against Jake Scott. Not giving up. Sees all of a sudden Locker coming his way. Locker with a great effort. Saw Hawkins break to the back of the end zone, but tough to throw when you got a guy 310 pounds on your back. You know, at the end of the first half, they had the kneel down play, and this is the one they really wanted. The victory formation kneel down.
And this is going to make it interesting for the number 1 overall pick as well, as things just got a little bit tighter between the Colts, the Rams, and the Minnesota Vikings. Their last win without Peyton Manning was December 14th, 1997. Jim Harbaugh directing the offense for the Colts. 4 touchdown passes, a 41-0 win over the Dolphins. So for Peyton Manning, it's been so difficult for him to witness this. That helpless feeling out on the sideline. 3 surgeries over a 19-month period. Coming up, second half of our doubleheader. There will be no 0-16 in Indianapolis this season. The Colts defeat the Tennessee Titans 27-13 to win their first game of 2011. For the Tennessee Titans, just a crushing defeat to fall to 7-7.
And it was their own mistakes that cost them in the second half. The interception return for a touchdown by Lacey, and then Orlovsky getting the job done.